Hey, good morning, everybody. So listen, I want to share with you a verse this morning. It's really one of my favorites, and I want to read it to you. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to read a couple verses after it, and then I'm going to kind of set the tone, the environment that it's in, and kind of tell you why I like it. But it's in Job, and it's from Job. Job said these words. He says, "For I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on the earth. And after my skin is destroyed, this I know, that in my flesh I will see God. I know that my Redeemer lives. He shall stand at last on the earth. And after my skin is destroyed, this I know, that in my flesh I will see God." Now, most of you probably know the story of Job. Job has, God allowed Satan to test Job, to try to get Job to turn his back on God, to deny God. And in the beginning of the book of Job, you can read where someone comes to Job and tells him, "Hey, there was a raid, and a lot of your servants were killed, and a lot of your flocks were stolen." And while he was speaking, somebody else came and said, "Hey, I was out in the fields, and a fire came down and burned up a bunch of your sheep and burned up a bunch of your servants, and only I was left to come and tell you." And while he was still speaking, somebody else ran up and said, "Hey, the Chaldeans have raided. They've stolen all your camels. They've killed all your servants." And while he was still speaking, somebody else comes up and they say, "Job, all your sons and daughters, all your children were having dinner at one of your sons' houses, and great wind came, destroyed the house, and it fell on them, and all your sons and daughters are killed." And then finally, Satan covered Job's body with sores from head to toe. So he just went from tragedy to tragedy to tragedy to tragedy to heartbreak, and he was just overcome with this destruction and heartbreak and heartache. And so all of you, there's some friends in here. I use the term friends loosely, and they talk to Job in this book of Job. And basically what they say to Job is, "You know what? You must have done something to deserve all this. There's no way God would do this to you unless you were a great sinner and you deserve this." And so Job is trying to process this whole thing. He can't really think of anything that he's done wrong. Of course, we know everybody's a sinner, but he can't think of anything that he's done that that would cause him to be unrighteous, that would cause him to, quote unquote, deserve what is happening to him. And he is desperate, and he is despondent. And finally, he just says, "I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand at last on this earth. And after my skin is destroyed, this I know, that I will see God." You know what the resurrection says? You know what the empty tomb says? It says that no matter how hard life is, no matter how, and it's going to be hard, no matter how much heartbreak you have, and you're going to have it, no matter how much tragedy surrounds you, and it's going to surround you, no matter how dark life can get, and life can get extremely dark and extremely hard, but no matter how bad it gets, we can find hope in this one thing: our Redeemer lives. We know that our Redeemer lives. And like we talked about yesterday, and at last he will stand on this earth. And this we know, that in our flesh we will see God. The empty tomb says our Redeemer lives, and that's hope. Hope for the hardships, hope for the heartaches, hope for the tragedy, and hope for the hurts. It says that we have hope because our Redeemer lives. Come see me Sunday morning, all right? God bless you guys. Get out there in faith today.